It's the iPad with no name. Well, no new model name. No iPad HD or iPad 3. It's simply the new iPad.
We're seeing Apple kind of get away from its numeric naming scheme that we've seen in the past, where went from the iPad to the iPad 2, and you had the iPhone, the 3GS, the 4, the 4S. Now it's just the new iPad, which I think is a good precedent to set. I think the next iPhone will also be called the new iPhone.
So, the new iPad is a little thicker, a little heavier, but largely keeps the same form as the iPad 2, and largely fulfilled most expectations.
More than a leap up than, what the 4 was to the 4S, more like what the 3GS was to the 4 in terms of the Retina display. It's a dramatic difference, right? And that opens up the door to new apps, to higher resolution in terms of books and publishing, things that we just hadn't had before in the tablet form factor for the iPad. And beyond that, I think that feature alone puts them well ahead of their competition.
The big difference for this iPad is the Retina Display.
To be honest, I think the display alone is going to shock some people. I mean, if you got a chance to see it, it's kind of one of those things that when you see it, it's hard to believe. It's such an immersive and captivating experience to see. 3.1
million pixels undetectable to the human eye, 4 times more than the iPad 2 and 1 million more than conventional HD. The resolution 2048 by 1536. Apple claims resolutionary work with pixels.
And it's the key to making the pixels so small and so close together that the human eye can't even distinguish them. So type looks razor sharp.
The new iPad will be faster with an A5X chip and a 5-megapixel iSight camera. It'll follow the same pricing plan as the iPad 2, which will stay available, by the way, at $100 cheaper, and the new iPad will be available March 16th. Some versions of the new iPad will come with a super-fast 4G LTE connectivity, a boon for Verizon, but also a potential drain on the battery, and can kill your data cap pretty quickly as the higher speed makes way for more gaming apps and low-buffer video streaming. But Apple says the new iPad keeps 10 hours of battery life, like the iPad 2, though it drops to 9 hours on continuous 4G connection.
We haven't seen if there'll be any new plans or pricing available for the iPad on Verizon or AT&T. Those would be the 2 LTE carriers here in the U.S. I wouldn't be surprised if we have some new pricing plans with more data to go along with the extra speed. But definitely it's going to be a big improvement in terms of download speeds, especially for Netflix and that kind of thing.
The new iPad also comes with Iphoto. One analyst thinks Apple is directly tackling critics who say the iPad is largely a consumptive, passive device.
Adding even just voice dictation, I think, puts an exclamation point on the fact that we are seeing these devices transition to more of an input, more of content creation.
For light productivity work, it's getting better, but it still doesn't match a laptop or a desktop for pure productivity. You can definitely see it getting more powerful, but it's still pretty restrictive in terms of what you can do. There's still no SD slot, for example, so if you're taking pictures with your DSLR, you're still going to have to use an adapter or something to get the pictures onto the iPad in the first place. So it's not quite as powerful as a laptop. It still has a ways to go, but it definitely is more powerful. There are a lot of great image editing tools, creative tools for drawing, and you can do slideshows, presentations, Word documents, all sorts of great stuff on there too.
Apple's new CEO, Tim Cook, also got high marks for his performance.
Today we're announcing the new iPad, and it is amazing.
Tim did great. He was very cool and calm up on there. He was definitely gave off a friendly vibe, and at the end a very thankful vibe. He thanked everybody at Apple for their hard work. Surely there's been a lot of late nights and a lot of weekends killed to get this iPad out in time, so he was very thankful to the entire team for that, and he said he was very proud to be part of that team, and it felt very genuine.
In San Francisco, I'm Andy Jordan for the Wall Street Journal.